So I mentioned how much help both of these candidates have really been getting. Why is it so tight?
Well, it's, all the eyes of the nation are on southwestern Pennsylvania. It's a tight race. As you know, in midterm elections, the party out of power sometimes sees a drop off in intensity. So it's our job to make sure we get our voters out. That's one of the reasons it's so tight. The other reason it's so tight is you have to remember, this is a Democrat district, notwithstanding the fact that the president won this by 20 points. It's a Democrat district. And Conor Lamb is running, at least trying to portray himself as a moderate who goes along with the Republicans on conservative issues. But when you drill down, you realize that's not really true.
He has said that he would never vote for Nancy Pelosi. So we've been watching kind of that chasm in that Democratic Party split wide open among some of these candidates who think that they can kind of lean in that direction, maybe pick up some points that way. Talk to me a little bit about politics on the ground, because you saw a president of the United States land on Saturday, and then the continuing conversation with his son today, and you saw Molly line outside that restaurant, with local issues there.
Yeah, local issues there. Steel's important to this region. These are where the steel mills were shut down during the 80s because of what we saw, dumping of steel from foreign countries. So steel's a big issue there. I've been to some of those steel plants. Rick Saccone has the right message on steel. So does the President of the United States. So having the President come in this weekend with that message on steel and on coal. Coal, too, is very important to this region. And Conor Lamb sides with a party who's been active against coal in this country, and we think those are two big issues for this race, and we're going to help Saccone greatly.
Val, something that we have seen in recent days is the Democrats scoop up money in this side of the race. Talk to me about Rick Saccone and his fundraising, if you can, and his messaging, in particular, with people who might not know him so well.
Yeah, we got out of the gates a little slow on the fundraising for Rick, but now he's going to do about $1.5 million just on his own fundraising by the time this race is over. That money's going on TV. When candidates spend money on TV, it's better than when the independent expenditures do, because they get a lower rate. So we're going to see that money to get Rick's message out over the next few days. Conor Lamb, or the next day, Conor Lamb has been raising his money from a platform called Act Blue, and he's getting his money from all over the country, really from liberals on the coasts who support Nancy Pelosi. So it's funny to hear him running away from Nancy Pelosi and her message.
Interesting, because you're saying that while they're talking about blue, the operative word or color might be green for him in terms of raising money, and he might actually like Nancy a little bit more. That's what I'm getting from you. Talk to me, if you will, about how some political observers are also watching Penn 18, as we're calling that district in Pennsylvania, because it may be a bellwether, in their words. Do you see it that way, and why or why not?
Well, this race has some very specific local issues, but I tell you, if the Democrats are watching this race and seeing how close it is, they're watching a candidate who's trying to run like a Republican and trying to say he shares the values of conservative voters in southwestern Pennsylvania. And if that's their goal, to go on for 2018 and basically try to be, we're calling him Conor the Chameleon, try to be like Conor the Chameleon and talk on both sides of every issue, whether it's guns, whether it's pro-life, whether it's on taxes, and the support for his party's leadership. If that's the message, but they're not really running true to who they are. And when you drill down on a candidate like Conor Lamb, you see that he's a dyed-in-the-wool liberal on taxes, on Second Amendment, on pro-life.
Did you just throw out a new nickname? Conor the Chameleon. No, and the president calls him Lamb the Sham. I'll give you the last word about where you think this is going. Corey Lewandowski was on with us for the last hour about Numbered. He sees a victory for Rick Saccone tomorrow.
Yeah, I do too, and because I was on the ground this weekend, I saw we had young Republicans from all over the country. We have hundreds of volunteers from the region that are hitting the doors. They're getting our vote out, and I think having the president and Don Trump Jr. in to get the message out for steel, for coal, and for tax cuts is going to be very important, and it's going to allow the momentum to increase for Rick Saccone. So I'm predicting a win, too.
Val DiGiorgio from Pennsylvania, just south of where we are here in New York. Appreciate your time. It is going to be all eyes on you guys tomorrow for that special election. Hope to talk to you again very soon. Thank you.